Hello and thanks for tuning in to episode 9 of No Labels Bipartisan Beat.
What story could we start with this week other than the coronavirus bill that passed Congress?
On Tuesday, a group of bipartisan members from the House Problem Solvers Caucus met with Vice President Mike Pence to be briefed on the coronavirus and discuss the next steps to combat the virus in a bipartisan manner.
This whole of government approach where we work hand in hand from the local, state, and federal level is critically important, and that's what the Vice President's task force has been put together to try to do.
The bipartisan House task force that Vice President Pence assembled is made up of Republican Representative Brian Fitzpatrick and Democratic Representatives Sheila Jackson Lee and Raul Ruiz.
After days of negotiations on Capitol Hill, the $8.3 billion emergency spending plan was announced and passed in the House 415 votes to 2 on Wednesday.
The emergency supplemental is the product of thoughtful, bipartisan cooperation. It provides $8.3 billion in entirely new funding to keep Americans safe.
Of the over $8 billion, $3 billion was allocated for vaccine research, $2.2 billion are designated for prevention and preparedness efforts.
The Senate voted on the bill the day after the House. The upper chamber passed the emergency spending bill 96 votes to 1, and President Trump signed the bill into law this morning.
Moving away from coronavirus, but staying with the Senate, Democratic Senator Joe Manchin and Republican Senator Lisa Murkowski put together a major energy package that includes around 50 energy bills, the majority of which are bipartisan.
But the policies underlying federal energy R&D have not been updated now in more than 12 years, a dozen years since we have last updated, refreshed, modernized. And so the question is whether or not they fully reflect the range of opportunities and challenges that we have, and I would submit to you that they do not.
In other news, members of the Cyberspace Solarium Commission, a bipartisan group of lawmakers, federal officials, and industry leaders, spoke at the Center for Strategic and International Studies on Tuesday about the report that they will release this upcoming Tuesday.
The report will include at least 75 recommendations for Congress and the executive branch on how to defend the nation from cyber attacks.
Most importantly, it was the most nonpartisan group that I have met with in a very long time. And that tone was set at the top by our bipartisan, bicameral leadership and the really outstanding group that was appointed to this commission.
On Thursday, Congressman Jared Golden and Senator Angus King introduced bipartisan legislation in the House and Senate to provide free access to national parks and other federally managed public lands to Gold Star families. Gold Star families are family members of service members who have died while serving.
Those are all of the bipartisan stories that we have for you this week.
Check our Facebook page every Friday for more bipartisan updates.